Have you ever seen a roo kick? Have you ever seen an emu run under the bright Aussie skies and said this year we'll be the one? Oi, oi, oi! What does it mean to be a part of a footy team? It's more than a game. The footy's in our veins. It's time to go. It's a Northern Footy Show. Get out of our way. We wanna see them play.
G'day guys, welcome to the Northern Footy Show. It has as usual been a fantastic big week in footy. Now you'll notice an absence here. We're missing JK. Brownie, he's got a sniffle. He's no good.
He's still in, wouldn't you?
Mate, he's come back from camp. He's a bit exhausted, so it's all good. He's due for a break off and refresh, especially after his pingers probably didn't get the chocolates. But he'll be back next week and he will get into us. And I know next week he's going to release his Division 3 side. But, mate, all I can say is what a week for the Bulls. Brownie, Elmsy, we got the two Kevs in. It was a big week for the Bulls. It was a good win, absolutely over the moon. All the credit in the world to South Morang. It was a great game. 15 points separated us at the end, and the fight was a really good battle. Credit to the South Morang crowd. They spent plenty in the bar, and it was a great day all round. It was fantastic. So, boys, welcome to the show. Elmsy, you're in this week as well in the hot seat, and we'll come to you shortly. We're going to talk about the big game that's going to come up. What is it? Only a couple of weeks away.
2 Sundays, mate.
2 Sundays.
Not far away at all.
You're going to name your captain tonight, I understand.
Coach.
He should be playing.
Big announcement. Big
announcement. All right, we'll get to that. Brownie, you're back, and tonight's going to be your Brownies beef. We're bracing ourselves tightly for this, but he's got his own segment now, so it's going to be great, and we get to talk about the topics. That's what the show's about. If you've got something you want us to talk about, of course, always put it in the comments as they start to come through. Wayne Cassar, hello, boys. G'day, Cass, great sponsor of the show. And Gary Cutler, we were just speaking about him before. Big birthday the other day.
Good man.
I think I tell this story once a year that Gaz was my first coach. Saved me from turning into an outright lunatic at 15 and gave me a senior game and then paid a guy to headbutt me for my first game. That's when footy was footy, and that was quite the joke after the game. I'll tell you what, I had tears running down my face. But Cuts is one of the great men of footy and underappreciated. And me and Brownie were saying there's probably not too many sides he hasn't coached now, is there, Brownie?
I reckon Gary would coach anywhere if he could. He's one of those great blokes that, if someone needs a coach, he will do the job for him.
100%.
Drop a hat.
Mutsy's come up with sound like I've been out celebrating. I didn't stay and celebrate, to be honest, but yeah, that's just my voice. I've been on the phone too much all day, mate. It's killing me. All right, boys. I am interviewing the great Warwick Kappa next Tuesday. He is filming a show, which I think I've got some the banner here somewhere. Let me just have a quick look while we're talking. Here it is here. It's a local production. Yesterday's hero, Chris Franklin, Corey Feldman from the US, Rowdy Roddy Piper, the Wee Man. I think he's what was the Wee Man out of? What was that silly Jackass. Yep. Nicky Griffin, John Ashton, Warwick Kappa, Chris DeVendi, Elliot Goblet, and more. Huge show. Now, one of the filming's at a club next week, and I've been invited down to do a behind-the-scenes interview with the Wiz and promote the show. So me and JK are going to head down there, and I can tell I'm a little nervous. I have no idea what to expect from the Wiz, but I think if you anticipate what he can offer, Elmsy, it'll be scary as hell.
I don't think that show's not going to know what's hit them. When the Wiz hits there, mate, trust me, they are not going to know what's hit them.
Have you ever met him?
Yeah, I have a couple of times.
Have you met him, Brownie?
Yeah, several times, yeah.
I've heard he's
a cracker.
A cracker. I'm looking forward to it. I remember growing up watching the Wiz sit on people's.
He could play.
He was a good player, mate.
Career average. I don't think it holds up. And
some fullbacks back then. You had Pert, Langford, Frawley, every side, and then if
he had the good ones,
and if he was marking it, he was copping a whack in the back of the head. Mate, so
I don't reckon he was too quiet during any of them. A couple of comments coming through. Luke Cassar, the man, the myth, KB.
Oh, Luke Cassar, what a legend!
Yep.
Just had a haircut and a shave. He's looking $1 million, Luke.
And Brownie making a comeback at West this week, and I heard, careful what you wish for, because there's
Who's that from, Luke?
That's from Lockie Davies. Culture. Yeah. I reckon the culture. I reckon culture might put the money up for you. I reckon General Chicken Cave. If they've had Fev back, surely they can have KB back. Elmsy, what do you reckon,
mate? It's still going right, I reckon too.
Well, he's not playing in our game. He's not. His knees are shot, and he's no good. And
I see him at the gym. I do see him at the gym a fair bit. Yeah. So he's in the rehab.
He's working hard on his rehab. That's fantastic. Kirby's quickly chopped in the quietest you've ever been, Kev. It didn't take long for both Kevs to get smashed here.
I'm a bit overwhelmed. I've got the other Kevin here, so he's telling
me. Mark Jackson just take over the whole lot.
So now, further to that, guys, we're going to have a new 19 section coming up. One of our fantastic supporters, Rhonda Carmichael, had put up that be good to have something for the 19s. I concur. So I put the challenge out. If there's a young bloke out there that wants to be involved in reporting on the 19s, if you're not a player or affiliated with a club and you're wanting to get into media and you want to do something, I can help you out. If no one puts their hand up, I'll maybe just do a Monday 5 a.m. take on that and launch the video during the day. But I love the idea. We're all about whatever you guys want is what we want to do. Okay. So Kappa, we've spoken about new 19 section coming. I wrote an article the other day, boys. Want to get your take on this. It had 30,000 views, the article. It's one of my biggest ones since we announced KB was coming to town. But it was about equalisation. And I actually think the NFNL have got the reservoir one right. Now, the consensus across the article was pretty good. Forget about points and all this stuff. I'm sick of talking about points. It's been run to the death. But what do you guys really want? What I want is a competitive game of footy every week, and whatever it takes to make that competitive. I don't want to see Laylaw getting beaten by 100 points every week. There's only so long people will be able to take that. What's your take, KB?
I go in the reverse. I don't want to see Heidelberg winning each, say, game by 10 goals, 20 goals, 3 grand finals, 4 grand finals, 10 grand finals. So somehow we've got to stop the better teams or equalise some in a different fashion.
So equalisation is the key. I mean, definitely. You've been part of Elmsy floggins and you've both ways.
Yep. Oh, I remember the year we got relegated, we didn't win a game. We were lucky, but we had a tight group. Our functions were like we were undefeated actually, but we didn't win one. But like we had training on Thursday nights and Tuesday nights. We'd have like 15, 13 blokes there, and like as I said, we were in the selection room. Lee Gray and Paul Briggs. Mm-hmm. We were ringing up players and we were saying, "Do you want to play this week?" And they said, "Oh yeah, we need you to ruck rove in the seniors." Like we were ringing up people to play for North Heidelberg seniors. It was.
My phone must have been off.
It was just. But if sides keep losing, as I said, clubs it can kill them. So
who was coaching then? Was it Rudes?
Rudes was, yeah.
Fantastic player.
I think it was 57 people played senior football.
That's unbelievable.
So,
wow.
But like, as KB said about equalisation, maybe if a side keeps winning, maybe bring them down 2 or 3 points each year, or just. But
my inside mail is the point system is under review. Now I can't tell you where my mail come from, but it's heavily under review.
Pretty sure the Southern League they dropped 2 points for a premiership win each year. So Heidelberg they won the last 3, would be down to 40 points, which does make it hard. Because blokes aren't going to hang around playing, we'll say, in the seconds.
Let me give you an example here. So one of the ideas that I've seen flagged is that if you play in the grand final, you would lose 4 points. Now this isn't from the NFNL. I'm just talking. This is from another outsourced. Is if you play in the grand final in Division 1, you lose 4 points the following season.
So both teams.
Both teams.
Runners up as well.
Right. And the side that comes up, say like South Morang this year, they would get an additional 4 points and an additional $20,000 in the salary cap. Now, the problem with that is South Morang's got an extremely loyal junior group, and they're only running nowhere near the point system. So that wouldn't help them. And they might not have the 20 grand. I'm not saying they don't, but they might not have the $20,000 to spend on their first year up as well, because they're already having to pay more wages to compete with people trying to poach their stars. So I don't think that'll work. I'm starting to feel that it's nearly going to be on a case-by-case basis. That does open up to scrutiny, but I don't think there is a one system fits all. And definitely throughout this year, as this grows more and more legs, it's gonna open up what's right or wrong. Reservoir, NFNL, got it right. I honestly believe they've got that spot on. I'm stoked to see Reservoir competing for a finals position, because being down at the bottom, if they're there for another 5 years, the club will fold. They've got a fantastic president that's coming in.
Way, so they got their 50 points.
Yeah, it's only 4 more points. Who cares about the points?
Some of the players, like Levi Greenwood, he's like 4-pointer already.
Yeah, don't worry about the points for a second. However they've done it, but it's good for, it's successful. Yeah. Someone's obviously had to put some money into the club, and good on them. And Laylaw probably need that as well. Okay, there's only so long the great Laylaw Football Club, and I mean that, we hated playing at the North, so
we hated them, but you respected them.
So much respect.
It was just
an article last week.
Great rivalry.
Huge, that we did about them. We had Mutsy commenting, and all those guys were fantastic. I don't know what the answer is. Cuts has come in with something: decrease points for premiership teams and consistent top 4 sides. Scale the points up so that the bottom teams can recruit. Love it. I love it if it works, if someone needs points, right? Say like a Noah Cumberland this year at South Morang, maybe there's some dispensation to get, not necessarily points, because they don't need the points. A marquee player, right? I hear, I was going to say Ray Shaw. Heath Shaw is playing at West Heidelberg at your club, right? I love this. I loved the Mitch Robinson thing. I'd love to see more of this marquee player things. I'll be honest, I don't know how it works. Does it come into their salary cap, KB?
I think it does, and it actually goes into points, where I'd like to see it as a one-off.
Yeah.
No points, no salary cap.
No points, no salary cap.
As long as they don't qualify for a finals appearance.
I agree with that, 100%. So then let me talk about the last piece of that puzzle. Is I believe there's going to be a change to the way VFL players are treated next year. When I say treated, eligibility for coming back for finals. Once they've played 5 VFL games, they're expelled from finals. I've seen 4 or 5 different scenarios in the last couple of weeks.
Never mind if they're expelled from finals, but just say you played reserves all year at a club, and then they brought down these players from the VFL to play in the seniors, and then they drop another 5 or 6 blokes to play in the reserves. That's just. I mean, you wouldn't stick around at a club if they did that, You got it's not right on them blokes, So
it's the blokes that get dropped from the second.
The second. Then done all the hard yards. Some clubs, or most clubs, don't pay their reserves, but
if I was playing Magoo's there all year and trained all year, and then they brought back Parker Heatley from the VFL, for example, and Lee Gray from Collingwood and Martello from Collingwood, and they said to fit them in, they had to drop down fringe players. Not saying it's you guys, but say it was you 2 guys. Now, you're far better footballers than me, so you come down to the 2s. You're pissed off that you've been pushed out of the 1s, and then I'm out. But I honestly believe 2s players are what actually holds the club together. Right? So we've got to make sure there's a system, not just to protect the 1s, but it's got to protect the 2s, and even some of these 19s that are pushing through as well.
Our captain, Brody Bell, actually really, he's amazing. Come in and he's been fantastic, and he's setting up a thing now, a couple of home games a year, where the reserves, the seniors put on some beers and some food for a more day. Someone's cooking a barbecue. We did it against Montmorency the other week, and they got some good feedback from some people from Montmorency. But just like the 2s are your backbone. Like if they're not there, you're in a lot of trouble.
Look, Peter Dawson agrees we're right. Now, Dorsey's been around, longer than World War One. I think he was born in 1826, wasn't he, Dorsey? I hope he's a ripper. We love you, Dorsey. So anyway, we're open to these ideas. I wrote an article about it. I wrote an article for the Leader this week on a couple of other things as well. And I actually love what the NFNL have done with Reservoir. And despite the criticism, if you get on Big Footy, there's a lot of talk about points. I've still got to work out who you are on Big Footy. I know you said you're not Brownie, but some of them sound like you.
Yeah, Lincoln.
But I think they got it absolutely spot on for there. Someone's going to eventually type in, "Daz, are you in the NFL talking again?" No, it's not that. I give credit where credit's due, and that's one that got right. Eric McCoy, a great initiative by Brady Bell and North Heidelberg, 100%. North Heidelberg, as everyone knows, I have a soft spot for the Doggies. I'll tip them. I'll tip them all year except for when you play the Bulls. All right, so let's move on from that. That was articles. That was really good. Let's speak about your big match that's coming up, Elmsy.
Yes.
Now, I'm not playing. I'm laid out. My hamstrings are more susceptible than Christopher Skase coming back and appearing for court. It's gone. It's done. But I've got some big news for you. The great man, Brian Moore, is going to umpire with me. So we will umpire. Neither of us are going to leave the centre square.
No.
So
I think you might maybe a few.
we're going to stand on a half-forward flank each, but I'm not going to be able to even pull a kick together, but I will most certainly be there and blow the whistle, and cash for comments is what I'm about. I can get the ball down to your forward 50 for money going into the great cause of Beyond Blue.
Yeah, Beyond Blue, it's starting to come together. The squad starting to come together nicely. You'll put up shortly. We have a big announcement tonight. The coach.
Are we ready?
Yeah,
Can we do it?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can.
All right, you tell me, and I'll put his, as you announce it, I'll put his photo on.
Yeah, but the coach for the North Heidelberg Legends Beyond Blue Cup will be Brett Hancock.
Oh,
yes,
ready.
Superstar, absolute superstar. So
Gadget.
That's a nice photo of him too. It's
Yeah.
going to be 1991.
Is all that
I think it
hair
was.
still there, Gadget, or is he?
Oh, no,
is he
the hair's
looking
still
the goods?
definitely there. Yeah, don't worry about that.
What an amazing player Gadget was.
But Beyond Blue, the Olympic Hotel, and Jason Coland, they're right behind it. They've been fantastic for North Heidelberg and the stuff they're putting forward, food and stuff like that.
Yep.
Jason down there, we can't thank him enough for what he's doing for us. So he's
Mate,
absolutely amazing.
I must admit, I'm pumped for the day. I'm pumped to run into old players we played against, and it's the chat that comes out of those days are amazing. So even if you're not capable of playing and you just want to get down, this is the event to get to.
Yeah. And I've told some of our past players if they want to run out with their kids, we'll get them jumpers.
Whatever you know.
We could run out with about 100 players. So,
Who's the oldest and who's the youngest?
Actually, at the moment,
Ricky still would have to have a crack, wouldn't he?
I don't want to give too much away with team selection at the moment in case the opposition,
up.
in case the opposition are out there taking notes. But there's a good mix actually. But plenty of defibs on standby. Don't
Is
about
Rudy
that.
in?
I can't say that. Actually, I can tell you, Lee Gray's definitely playing.
Excellent.
It's going to be a great day for a great cause. So
What about Clint Edwards? He's got to be a chance.
Hacksaw,
Full forward. He'd have to go to full
He tells
forward.
me how good he is every time I'm down that bundle. I want to see Hacksaw out there.
I would like to see him playing if you'd like to, but I
He'd
think
run out with his young bloke.
I think you've got better knees than him. Actually, that's no kidding. So
That's why you put him at full forward. Doesn't have to move.
Yeah, he could jump back.
Clint, I can get you a couple of goals down there too for $20. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Just to close off on that, now Bonners is in charge of the other side. Next week we'll release coach, captain, maybe a couple of players, and then we'll do a final selection on the Thursday night before. Now, I want to be crystal clear on this. If you've got a mum, a brother, a daughter, a nephew, a niece, don't care who it is, and you want to head out on the field, it's no hard tackling or nothing like that, Elmsy. Talk to me about that.
No, it's just a bit of fun. It's basically not glorified training, but it's more about the day and the cause. So, and as you know, and yourself, Daz and KB, the best part for us, it's that when the game finishes and you sit in the rooms with the blokes you've just played with, gone to battle with. It's just a great feeling, and if there's some players out there, who are missing that and want to get that back for that one more time, because there's entertainment on after the game, there's kids' activities all day. Bring the family down. It's going to be an amazing day. And as I said, we've just got to reach out to one person.
I want an all abilities person in, so it's for anyone. So if you're in a wheelchair and you want to roll out, have that feeling of going through, get out there. We will make it happen. Whatever you've got, this is for everything. It's about mental health. It's about awareness. And I've got to tell you, the man sitting next to me, Elmsy, no one's more passionate than this man about that. Now, one thing I love about footy, before we get into our sides, and we panic about Brownie's beef, is I ran into a fella. I was at Bundoora on the weekend, and I was watching. I mentioned the Bulls won, and it's gentleman. Tony said, Daz, and I'm like, hello, and turn around, lovely man. And we spoke footy for 50. This guy loves his footy, right? From East Ringwood. Here he is here. Tony, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Akono, I think. Akono, he'll tell me if I'm wrong. Tony the Tiger, they call him, from East Ring. So all the way at East Ringwood.
What was he doing down the footy?
Mate, he loves it. He just loves it. He knows the Harrises pretty well. Kim Harris, happy birthday last week. The absolutely lovely Kim Harris, Banger's mum, had her birthday the other day. Cuts as well. Anyone else that's got a birthday, put it in. We're happy to, for anyone. Dorso turns 99 tomorrow. So I love it. I love running into people, and people stop me at the shops and everywhere, and they talk footy for ages. Fantastic. God help you if you run into KB, he'll bail you up for 4 days.
Not sure about that.
All right. Now, let's move on. A segment coming up we're going to do. Well, we're not. KB is going to do. He's going to do around the grounds. He's going to talk a little bit about, not tonight, but he's going to talk about
just the local
school footy, local areas.
School footies, parade college, anything else that anyone else wants to suggest. Want to talk about Preston, and we also want to talk about the Northern Knights. So all our, we'll say, people in the area playing those, we'll say, teams, and we'll just mention just how
Is
they
it
go
your
each
birthday?
week.
Can you put your mic on your deal? You got to strap it on here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You got to pull the clip.
I am dopey.
It's not your birthday, is it, KB?
No.
Someone just said happy birthday.
Who was that?
Ben Keenan.
Sorry, no way known.
Cuts, just to go back to Cuts for one more time here. The twos players actually pay to play football, whereas the first gets paid. That's a very good point. And let me tell you, Cuts, you never paid me enough. I think I was getting...
Actually, Cuts, it depends on what club you're at too sometimes.
Really? No one's playing twos footy.
Getting paid in the twos. I reckon there is.
I reckon there is.
I reckon there is.
Do you really? Oh, let's not open that can of worms. I did not know that.
Oh,
Really? Legit?
Legit.
I'm coming back.
I'm pretty sure these days people are on contracts, which goes for the whole say 6 months or yearly
So
contract.
they've dropped.
Where's JK? If you just joined the show, Fitzy, and I know we're going to get you a shirt. We're just waiting for some more stickers to come in. He's got a man cold, mate. He's got man flu. He's stage 77. He'll be back next week. Ben Giobbi, maybe the best looking bloke in footy. I don't know. Maybe Bryce Barnes has got him covered.
I reckon Brian
Tell
Barnes.
Elmsy stop calling me out of my bag.
I have actually.
Bryce Barnes has got them all covered.
Cheapest. Copping
We'd actually put extra mirrors in the club rooms for Bryce Barnes.
But he's not a bad looking rooster.
He is a good looking bloke.
So kick 5 on the weekend.
Could have kicked 10.
I wonder if he's in. JK's Div 3 team of the year so far.
Big.
A lot of boys have put his name up. All right, now a new segment we've got, which is for you guys to send in. We're looking for the best under 20 players. Kev's going to drive this.
Well, what we're trying to do is basically look a rising star, best under 20 player.
You get to nominate them anonymously if you want, if you don't want to be named.
We sort of can't interview the people these days, so we want someone to, like an anonymous person, give us the information.
So we've got a couple come in now. You've chosen top of the ranks here. Run me through it.
Have we got the photo we can put up with this person?
That's very good.
We've got the person right now.
Taking the show over.
And I'll say that the first person we've got is Aaron Doyle.
Yep.
Nicknames of Doyley, Rowdy. He was nominated because his game on Saturday against Heidelberg, they got a bit of a thumping, and Doyley was pretty good on the halfback flank. I don't think he had any goals kicked on him, so he was pretty good. Doyley's 19, is 182 centimetres, weighs about 80 kilos. He's played so far 8 Division 1 Diamond Valley games and 5 this year.
Done his own work.
So his best position, obviously, is a defender, where I think his best suited is probably on the halfback flank, but I reckon eventually he might go on ball.
Wow.
He's had no bad injuries to date, and we hope we'll touch wood. So we'll say Doyley, never get any injuries because you're an absolute superstar.
Yeah, yep.
He's part of the highest level he's attained is Northern Knights so far.
Okay.
So he's part of that program. His aspirations, obviously, is to go to the next step. So if there's any recruiters out there for Doyley,
get on him.
He wants to go there. I'd say Preston, have a crack at this bloke because he's an absolute superstar. His greatest influence that I think after his say junior career would be Grant Woodward.
Okay.
If anyone knows Woody, I don't really know Woody because he reckons he played a lot of senior footy, but I don't reckon he did. But he's been a great influence on, we'll say, Doyley.
Any superstitions? I don't think he's got any because he just goes out there week in, week out, and he's just one of those chilled kids. How I think he plays, he's rough, he's tough. He's sort of like he'd really be suited to the 1990s. Excellent on both sides of the body, team orientated, and the 1%ers that he does are unbelievable. The stuff he does that no one notices, he doesn't take the big specky, doesn't show the crowd the ball, just does the things that we'll say the team really need. He can go forward, he can go back, and he's one of the best kids going around Diamond Valley Footy right now. It's nominated by myself. So if anyone's got another one that can beat this kid,
send them in.
And they're going to be good to beat Aaron Doyle because he's an absolute superstar, this kid.
Send them in. We want to wrap these kids up. They are the future of the league. That's a fantastic wrap there. Now, for those that don't know KB, he signs autographs at the Bundoora pub 7 days a week. But if you don't know him, 2-time premiership A grade player. How many flags did you win, KB, in total? All juniors, everything.
Played in 21, won 14.
Right.
And I lost 7 A grade, all Diamond Valley.
Half-hearted.
How many of them Delayla?
4. 91, 92, 93, and 98.
Oh, wow. Keepers. Yeah, fantastic. He knows what he's talking about. I personally know that he watches, somewhere between 5 and 15 games of footy a week. So this guy knows his footy. That's why he's on the show, because he's actually an incredibly intelligent man.
I'm not sure about that.
Now, Soft from Dorso, not sure what you're referring to, but you're probably right if it's about Elmsy or KB, not me.
Come on.
Stefan Candello, I thought last week was a one-and-done ballsy to bring KB back. I don't think he's coming back, Steph. I don't think he's coming back. Scott Ditcham. I remember KB from my very brief pre-season stint with Bundoora around 96, I think. Made me feel very welcome. Unfortunately, an ankle injury stopped me from playing. What he didn't tell you there is you kicked him in the ankle, so he didn't take his spot. Ryan Offer. I knew this one.
Oh, come on, Offer. Here we go, the seconds player.
Oh, yeah. I think everyone is scared of KB's mouth.
He kicked 5 Offer too, on fire on the weekend.
Cheers, Daz. This show is much better than the Eastern Football League. I hope they're not watching tonight, but I love you, Tiger Tony. KB, I like this segment. Well done, KB. You're getting credit here.
Wait till they see Brownie's.
What was that from Pete Dawson?
That was Dorso and Grant King. I love this man. This guy knows footy as well as anyone as well. Grant King.
I reckon King, you should come on here one day.
Get on here, King. I'd love to have King on here. He'll say he's shy, but he's not. His brain's amazing. Jordan Smith Heidelberg. How old's Jordan Smith? He's only 19 as well, isn't he?
Well,
I reckon he's only 19.
If he's only 19 by the end of the year, right, nominate him.
Get him in. All right, he's nominating.
Yeah, great.
You go and do your research.
Grant, do your research and get as much as you can on this kid for me, and let's nominate him straight away.
Now, Peter Dawson's clearly drinking. JK as one of his. Look at Neil McDonald's India. KB, the only bloke who carried a mirror and comb in his back pocket when he played. Ironically, Neil, he said to me before when I said I'm interviewing the Wiz on Tuesday, he said, can you ask him for my comb back? So it's obviously happened.
I don't wear his shorts.
Yeah, you probably got them. That's the problem. All right, let's move on and let's start talking games because we're flying through the show and we've got a little bit to get through. Let's go to Debbie 3. Boys, you got to give me your tips. I don't have a pen. Can I pinch your pen, KB?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you so much. Debbie 3, let's start off there. It's a big week in Debbie 3, boys. Big week. Eltham Collegians at home take on Moonda, who come off the bye. I think it's a formality. I'm going to go Moonda by 41.
I'll say Moonda as well.
Elmsy, how many points?
32.
32. And KB?
After watching Lincoln Coffey today at the parade game, I reckon, superstar. He's playing against a bloke about 6'5", jumping over and just
got a great leap.
Big left hand.
Jump over the moon, that boy.
Lincoln Coffey, superstar, from 1 to 39, I'd say.
Oh, we're going to go 39.
1 to 39.
What are we, the TAB?
Well, it gives me more of a scope, doesn't it?
Done a big article on Lorimer this week. So, I love Lorimer, but this is going to be a test for both sides, actually. Ivanhoe, Pete Rawley will probably jump in if I mention they kicked 0-17-17 for the first 3 quarters of the game a couple of weeks ago. Sorry, Pete. I have to go one more time. But for me, Lorimer get the chocolates by 26.
I'm going to tip a draw.
Draw, Elmsy.
Wow.
I'm going to draw.
JK, if you're watching, you better put your tips in because otherwise you'll rig it. KB, who you got?
No one can play on Fitzy.
So Lorimer.
Lorimer, easy.
Give me a number.
1 to 39.
39 again.
139. That's a big win. Jesus.
Epping, Heidelberg West. All right, now
Wow.
let me tell you about this
There we
game,
go.
all right? Because I know you're a West boy, but the problem is they haven't hit their straps, the Pingers, and they got a good side. It's a different side when Calf's in, definitely.
The decaf.
The decaf, but he's carrying a couple of niggles at the moment. Heidelberg West can get their season really back on track with a win over Epping after a 100+ point win on the weekend. I think Epping get the chocolates. I'll get smashed by the West boys, but I think Epping get the chocolates by, I'm going to call it 26. Elmsy?
I'm a West fan. Know a few boys down there, great blokes. I'll say 2 points Heidelberg West. Go
Oof.
West.
And are you allowed to tip?
Well,
Yeah, you got to go.
there's been a lot
I
of
tip
pre-season,
under,
pre-season banter with myself and the Epping boys, and the Epping boys thought they were premiership material at the start of the year, and I said no one will beat Stars. So it'll be very interesting Saturday night at 5 o'clock in the rooms after the game when we're having a beer.
Yep.
But right now, after the tribunal on Tuesday night, when a couple of our blokes, key movers, got, we'll say, one got 3 weeks and one got 5, I'm going to tip Epping by 60 points.
Whoa.
So I'm sorry, Heidelberg West. Epping are a good team. They're under the spotlight with me right now, and they'll be on the move up.
Absolutely. Now, yep, I'll get to that, Neil. Give me 2 secs, mate. Absolutely. Good on you. Kilmore, Fitzroy Stars. Now, Kilmore, fell over to Reservoir on the weekend, but that's not a smack to Paul Derrick and the boys. Reservoir's a much better side. There's a lot of ex-AFL talent in that side. They've still got skills. You don't lose your skills. I've got to tell you, just move a little bit slower. I think the Stars are too good, and I think they're probably a 47-point better side.
Stars by 44.
44 for Elmsy and KB.
Stars by 30. Can't
30.
be beaten Stars.
Yeah, look, I think they can be beaten, but I think Lorem is the only one that can. But it'll come. Injuries, injuries play a big part.
You'd have to kick 15.
Last game of Divi 3, Kinglake Reservoir. This is going to be a cracker. Absolute firecracker. Because I think Kinglake is far better than I gave him credit for. And now I'm sort of just slowly getting on that train. And I think Kinglake will get the chocolates here. I think they get up by 11 points.
Big shout out to Cobber over there, Big Davey Florence. I'll say Kinglake by 25.
Kinglake 25 for Elmsy and KB.
I'm going to go with Kinglake as well by 2 goals.
2 goals.
Going to be wet on Saturday. A little bit cold up Kinglake. You got to travel up the hill.
Layla will have the buy and will bank the 4 points. Dorso's given all of his tips in here. They'll be there for everyone to see. Now, Neil McDonald, can you give mention of the senior girls football? Absolutely. We will start to get a little bit more up of the girls now. We've sort of just found a rhythm. I'm sort of about 20 to 30 hours a week into this show at the moment, but I'll find a way to get a bit more girls results up. Please send in photos, anything to do with girls. Happy to promote the living daylights out of it. And girls, if there's any retired girls not affiliated with a club and you just want to do a women's show, speak to me. I can hook you up on this StreamYard. I can get you cracking, and I've got a spare set of microphones.
Just on that, North Heidelberg, we reached out to the league for our girls to play their game before the Legends.
Yes.
So for a 1:30 game, I think our girls have played away 2 weeks in a row. So we're just waiting on the league to get back to us.
Okay.
We'd like them to play before us. Nice crowd there for them, for the girls. Cheer them on. We've got some, as I said, they're doing fantastic work. Our club's just sort of starting to build the girls.
Yeah.
The team down there is doing a great job. But we're just hopefully the league will play ball and the girls will get a home game and
Love it.
play before the Legends game. It'll make the day even better.
Love it. Love it indeed. Now, KB, smack. Greg Camilleri tipping against us, KB. Big dollar bags in front of it.
That's a fine.
That's a fine.
Well, Greggy, I'm going to be realistic. I reckon we've got a long way to go right now. So we'll see how we go. If I'm
Let's see who's right or wrong.
If I'm right, it's a fine to you, Greggy.
All right, so you had to put the fine up each over the bar.
Correct.
$20. $20 fine. All right, let's go Divi 2, pressing ahead so we don't keep everyone here all night. Northcote Park, St Mary's, another cracker. Both of these sides are even Stevens at the moment. I pre-season thought St Mary's were genuine finals contenders, as in being there at the pointy end. I'm not saying they're not, but they've got to turn the season around. And for me, this week, St Mary's get it cracking, and I think they get up by 16 points.
Northcote Park by 11.
11.
Northcote Park by 3 goals.
Oh, shit, I'm terrible. 18. Righto. I'm not good at maths, KB. You've got to give me numbers, mate. You go 7 goals. Once you go over 3 goals, I'm a mess. All right, Panton Hill, Old Paradians. Well, I get a little bit of grief here saying I do not get behind the Old Peas anywhere near often enough, and they are in for a tough year. But here's one for you. Old Peas get this done by 31.
Is it Panton Hill at home?
Panton Hill at home.
Panton Hill by 11 at home.
Elmsy 11. KB.
Old Paradians are under my spotlight as well. I thought they go a lot better.
Yep.
They've got to get up some stages. First haven't got a game, haven't got a win. The seconds haven't got a win. The thirds have got 1 win in Division 3. They're a better club than that, and I reckon they're going to be on the rise.
Give me a number. Don't you give me 4 goals, 6 goals.
3 goals.
3 goals. Keep it at 18. I can work that out. All right, very good. Good luck to both sides this weekend. Please don't start the hate mail from Panton Hill either. I'm keen for everyone to get a couple of wins. Thomastown, Watsonia.
Well, that's a battle, isn't it?
Oh,
what a game.
That's what I said. This week, the battles are amazing. I actually think Watsy and Thomastown just haven't done anything to excite me yet.
What's happened there?
I don't know. I thought they'd finish 5th or 6th this year, but I don't know what's happened there. But I'm going to go Watsonia, get this done by 11 as well.
I'll go Thomastown by 10. Kyle Green to kill him.
Oh, I love Kyle Green.
I was just about to say that Kyle Green will kick 5 goals this week and they'll win by 3 goals.
18. We're sticking to this 18 points. He now knows my limitations as a mathematician.
This makes it easy, doesn't it?
Very good. Just making sure I've got everything here. All right. Lower Plenty McLeod. Well, this one should be straightforward for McLeod. I think McLeod get home by 42.
My loyalty to lower. I'll go lower in an upset by a point.
Oh, well done, Elmsy. I love it. And KB?
Lower to get beat by 12 points. McLeod are a pretty good team, I reckon.
Yeah, I think
Lynch is on fire.
I think you're about there. And Whittlesea take on Diamond Creek. Match of the round for me across all divisions. I think it's a cracker first versus second. Now, I did write them off a little bit earlier. I said they wouldn't finish top 2, Whittlesea. I changed my mind. I think they will definitely finish top 2. And if you're there, I think Gary Ramsey is a fantastic coach.
Great place.
Bloke.
One of the very, very
Seen at
best.
The gym as well. There, always have a sauna. Great
guy.
Cracker.
Always happy to have a chat. So I'm going to call an upset. I think Whittlesea get home by a point.
Whittlesea, I'll go 11 points.
11 for Elmsy.
One of my best mates, Chase Ludlow, is a Diamond Creek supporter. He would kill me. Craig McLaughlin, Jet McLaughlin's old man, would kill me. I've got to go Diamond Creek, and I reckon they are the better team, and they will go through and win the premiership.
If you say 18 points, I'm going to jump over. We're going to have our first punch on.
Jesus Christ, I better run.
You'll be
2 goals.
Oh, yeah, 12 points. Oh, that's lovely. All right, so that's there. Now, we've got Division 1 to do, and then we're going to head into Elmsy's beef.
KB's beef.
What did I say? KB's beef. Too many Kebs. No more Kebs.
One might get thrown off after this.
All right, Division 1. Let's jump into this. Heidelberg versus Greensborough. Heidelberg are supreme at the moment. I watched their game back again on the week. I watched sections of their game back. They are supreme. Here's the scary thing. They're nowhere near points. Nowhere near their points.
What are they, 36 points?
Yeah, 36, 37 points. They got stars to come back, Lockie Wilson, all those sort of guys. I think Lockie played last week. They've got so many guns. Gilmore wasn't named again last week. I'm not sure if he's carrying an injury or anything. I should probably text him. But the point is they are a supreme outfit. You can say we want equalisation and all those things like I say, but they played within the points rules. They've done the right thing. They've got loyalty at the club. They've built a good home. Got to give them all the credit in the world. Heidelberg get this done over Greensborough by 47.
I have Greensborough roll them. Greensborough by a point.
Point for Elmsy, KB.
Heidelberg by 12 goals.
72.
72. Heidelberg.
We got a new rule. That's a fine. If you go over 3 goals, you got to tell me the number yourself.
I can do me times table, so
you can because it's on the punt. I have 12 units on that.
Yeah, working at recording.
My horse had a win the other day. First run. No tits. Sorry, mate. I actually missed the race myself, so had a run and had a win, so it was all good. The Doggies versus West Preston. Casey's doing a great job. Very happy down there.
Jumper clash.
West Preston. West Preston's going okay. Okay, but I just think the Doggies are too good. I tip the Doggies all year except for when they play. Vulnerable. I'm going to go the Casey North Doggies by 26.
Pass play day Saturday, North
Oh, big
Heidelberg.
one.
I'll go the Doggies by 44.
Yep.
Boys.
Yep. And what do you got, KB?
Doggies by 5 goals, 30 points for you.
Ah, good boy. I was about to
Doggies
clip
way
you.
too good.
Yeah, way
Bit
too
of
good.
loyalty to the Doggies.
Yep, they're good. 100%. South Morang take on Hurstbridge at home. The one thing I'll tell you about South Morang, I watched a couple of their games leading up to the Bundy game. They're hard to play at home. It's a ground that people aren't used to playing on.
I think they've got the closest to Heidelberg this year. I think.
48 points.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to be doing well.
I'm
to do that.
impressed. I'm impressed with South. I'm absolutely impressed with South. I'm going to go South Morang in an upset by a point. They're going to knock someone off.
Yep.
I mean,
They've played a few close ones, Hurstbridge of late. So I'm going to go a draw.
a draw.
That's
Another
the
one
second one, isn't
Another one from.
Well,
They
KB.
had a draw there.
I'm pretty sure my little mate Lukey Castle will be back after an ankle injury.
Lukey's a gun.
I reckon he'll kick between 3 and 5, and he'll.
He's going to get a nomination as an under 19 star.
I reckon he will.
Yeah, he's a star.
Didn't play today at school footy,
Daddy's all
but
right
he'll
as
be.
well.
So what's your tip?
How many and who?
Hurstbridge by.
Hurstbridge by,
I'm gonna
we'll
get
say,
your phone holder next week.
3
You've
goals.
dropped it
3 goals.
27 times.
Lukey Castle to kick a minimum of 3.
All right, so Lukey and
Lukey will
3
win the game
goals,
for him.
18 points, Hurstbridge. Now, on paper, Hurstbridge should definitely win that Destination Club and Bazza. But South Morang's going to steal one, and they're going to steal it at home. No, I think so. Now, a couple of quick ones before we get in the last couple of games. Harry Butterworth, fantastic under-19s player. He's about the only person that's liked me all year online, so I had to give him a quick rap. Absolute star. I'm the runner down there for the lads. You know, it's mate, 7Ks. They keep sending me out for messages to nobody. They're giving me dodgy numbers just to get the Ks.
Hey, you're the runner.
Oh, mate, I'm dying out there, mate.
I'm getting a bit of a bag on my phone at the moment.
I'm terrible.
Especially for Liam
All the
Patterson.
tips are coming through. Oh, mate, I've just blocked 3 of his comments. Liam, happy as Larry for you to comment, mate, but it's got to be positive. All right, moving forward, Banyul versus Eltham. I'm loving Eltham. Bongo's still my coach of the year so far for that. Eltham get the chocolates here. I know it's a Banyul, wide ground, very similar to Panther Place. Very, very similar. I reckon Eltham get up by 7 points.
I'll say Banyul by 12 points at home.
12 for Elmsy.
Banyul by, I'll say 4 goals.
24.
Little Charlie Seraphin got best on ground last week, and I reckon he's going to keep his spot from it. He's another superstar from the 19s.
Yep. All right. Right, there's plenty coming. Look, it's close. This is close. And then Bundura take on Monty. I think that's they're pretty close. Monty's a fair way down. No Nash Holmes still. And get well, Nash. I know you watch the show. He's an absolute ripper bloke, Nash Holmes. I love him. Yeah, he's it's very sad, but he'll be back bigger and better than ever. But just stay away this week, Nash, and take a couple of players with you and let the Bulls get the points. I'm calling an upset. Bulls get home by a point.
I'll jump on board with you, Daz. I'll say Bundura by 4 points.
4 points.
Monty, another team under my spotlight, underperforming right now, underachieving, but Bundura cannot beat them. They'll win by about 8 goals.
Right. Bundura.
Monty back.
48.
Who's winning by 8 goals?
Monty. Bundura cannot possibly beat Monty.
Enjoy your last show.
48.
Yeah, we'll just say 48 points.
I'll even wear their top next week, Monty, after they win.
Well, look, on paper they should be, but you never know. Funnier things happen. Now, I know everyone's hanging for this. Tread lightly. I want to stay online. Now, let's do this little intro we've made up for him. I actually humored myself making this the other night, but as we move over, have I covered everyone before we get into this? I want to just quickly thank all of our sponsors. Brainy Brewing.
Yes.
Cheers to the Pioneers.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. We're all having a drink of that tonight. Evan Printworks with these beautiful cups. Hold it up again for us, mate, to the camera. What rippers. We've got sponsors coming out everywhere at the moment, which is great. Thanks to Evan, obviously, there, and obviously Diamond Valley Car Care, Ash Garraway, what a legend. Cassar, the legend of legends, and producing the next legends as well in there. And footybanners.com, who this last week gave away that banner for Lincoln that we put up. Make sure you get your banners from them. Absolutely spectacular and awesome. And if you haven't donated yet to these 2 great causes, get behind Epping Football Club. for Alec, and also get behind it as well for Scott. So all a great cause. The money's coming in, and thank you to everybody that has supported them like crazy. And last one, Big Freeze MND night coming up. We're not commentating it, unfortunately. However, I will be covering it as part of the Leader Network and writing the article for there, which is all good and approved. All right, you ready? You ready? Hang on. Here it is.
Hold on tight. It's Brownie's beef.
Keep it clean, Brownie. Let's go.
I'm going to keep it clean, and I hope I don't upset too many people, especially the Northern, but I've got a way of upsetting.
What's your beef?
Well, it's about the umpiring, and it's not really about the decisions, but it's about the lack of. The standard isn't great, but the ones we have are doing it. They're having a red old crack, and they're having a good old effort doing it. Remember, no umpires, no game, so credit where it's due. But last Saturday, Divi 3 senior footy. Wow, one boundary umpire. And the other must have been 90, and he was probably Cliff Young would have beat him in a race. Nothing against Cliff Young or the boundary umpire, but we need better.
Cliff is legal.
So he wasn't the quickest fella. Also, field umpiring on the same game each week in Division 3. The seconds reserves umpire doubles up and does the seniors. Now, we aren't getting the best umpires, but these poor blokes that have got to do 2 games obviously slow down, and they're not umpiring great towards the end. But sadly, it's on a regular basis. The previous week, no goal umpires in the seconds. Why haven't we got goal umpires in the seconds? I did go and watch an under-19s Division 1 on Saturday morning, the same day as what I've just spoke about, and we had a full book of umpires. We had 2 field, 2 boundary, and 2 goal. Now, how do under-19s get 2 boundary, 2 field, and a goal, and senior football haven't got the full set of books? Obviously, lack of umpires, yeah, we must all agree. But what have we done to find more? I did a bit of research. I went through the Diamond Valley Northern sites. We've done an expression of interest in February. Yes, February, but I can't find anything else. Nothing more. I found the ad, we'll post it. So anyone out there, it'll be on our site. So please look at the site because we need these umpires. Let's get behind the umpires. Now it's pretty good money. It keeps you fit. You get out of the house on a Saturday. For some blokes, that is great. You get out of the house on a Sunday. That's for juniors. Tax-free, so I've been told. May even get a free pie and a free beer after the game. JK, sorry, that's your calling because you've retired. We actually need you to umpire.
I like that.
Please, park runners, men, women, kids, pensioners, boys, girls, ex-footballers, he's, she's, it's, thems. Please get off your bum, have a crack and get a quid for doing it and help out our magnificent game. I do believe kids under 14 aren't allowed to do it because of the age difference.
Seniors, you mean? Or
I think any football under 14. I'm not sure if
we'll
it's
get
a
some
taxation
clarification
thing.
on that. Okay.
So in conclusion, well, Northern Footy, rather than have millions in the bank, let's spend a little more on umpire, pay that little bit extra to improve our great game. Currently, the situation is noticeable, in my opinion, very, very poor, and that comes from a lot of spectators as well. That's Brownie's beef. Please, if you have a beef, let me know, and I'll follow it up, and hopefully it comes out here.
Oh,
Thank
Brownie,
you.
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I was a bit nervous about that.
I was nervous too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me comment on that for a second. As Edges were reading it out, my mum was thinking. So when I retired from footy, I umpired and met great guys like Darren Agnew and Brian Moore, and Maury and I have remained really good mates out of all of it as well. And I loved umpiring when footy was finished. I was worried about the void. I did it for many years, and umpired with some great umpires, ex-AFL guys as well. So it is very rewarding. It's great money.
I don't know about the. I'm umpiring in McLeod under 9s where my son plays.
Yes,
I'm copying. I'm copying off the players. Yeah, these kids are busy.
You're old enough to cop it.
Yeah. So
That's not abuse the umpires.
Yeah,
I think one of the things that drives kids away is the scare factor of being abused, and it's not for everybody, obviously. And you've got to have some. Oh God, I'll put that comment up in a minute. But the truth is, I loved it. And if you've got a little bit of thick skin and you know what you're doing, just ignore the outside noise. And honestly, you know, it's up to the clubs to retire this. But I don't know what an umpire gets paid. I think I used to get about 60 or 90 bucks a game for ones. I can't remember. I agree with you. Senior football should have full suite before 19s across all those divisions. It's really important. It's not a good look. But on the other hand, I see that Division 1 is higher rated, and that might be how to. I don't necessarily think anyone's doing it, but I do think there needs to be a greater push. I don't know how the money component works, and maybe people just aren't aware that they don't think they'll get a game, or they think there's too many umpires. So seriously, guys, I loved it. If you want to, and you want to ask me or any of these boys or anyone else any questions, or you want to be put in, we will post it because they need umpires. It honestly makes the world go round. Now, more ex-players should umpire. Okay, this is why I put it up. I was having a chuckle at myself. Let me float this idea. Martin, if you suspend a player, make them umpire the next week. Even if it's under 9s, make it part of your suspension that you have to umpire. Just as an idea.
Sounds like corrections.
I tell you why, right? I learnt more about footy umpiring than I did playing.
What a great idea.
Yeah, whatever works. Maybe if they got 4 weeks, offer them 2 weeks if they umpire.
So reduce it by
And that's your good behaviour bond for an early plea. Not if you're belting blokes every week, but not like Elmsy used to. But I think maybe there's some incentives there.
I would have done a lot of umpiring then in my time.
I would have done more games in my career than post my career. You blokes are legends. Thank you, Neil. I really appreciate that. Well said, KB, Peter Dawson. Gee, are you two hooked up or something?
Oh, we talk a lot. I get him about Epping every time he puts a post on.
So here it is, Kev. Ryan Offer, the best seconds player in the world, you told me, and that's not from me, Ryan. I love you. When you umpiring it, Kev, if the league reached out to you and said, "We love what you're saying, will you go and umpire a game?" Whether it's a goal umpire.
Okay, I'm going to show what I'll do. I can do the goal umpire. That's as hard as it gets.
Let's get a recruit.
If I can do that, anyone can do that.
I'd love to see you out there. I tell you what, find a game, whether it be juniors or whatever. If you go and do one end of the goals, I'll do the other end of the goals, and we're happy to give back to footy that way. And let's have a bit of fun on a Sunday morning with that. Now, Darren Collins, I knew he wouldn't be far away.
Couldn't answer my phone, Colo.
We were speaking about you, Colo, before the game. We have to get you back on the show this year, Colo. KB won a comp medal, was known to buy beers for the umpires after every game. Well, that's probably how he won the comp medal. I think that's what he's saying. Did you bribe umpires, KB?
Sort of.
Yeah.
I had to. It's like the best way after the game, shake their hand, even though I was a bit of a rat on the footy field.
The umpires.
I would have had to. Neil Connie Bear and all that. They used to love me.
Yeah, no, ripper umpires. All right, guys, 50 minutes we've gone over. Until next week, keep kicking goals, and thanks for tuning in.
Have you ever seen a roo kick? Have you ever seen an emu run under the bright Aussie skies and said this year we'll be the one? Oi, oi, oi! What does it mean to be a part of a footy team?